Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and as you guys can see, I have a Balisong in my hand. And today, this Balisong is a clone, and we will talk about clones in another video. But today's video is on that, tap intolerances, and all of that, and why people actually flip and like to have bad tolerances. Like, this Balisong, I love it with worse tolerances. It's just better. Like, I don't know what it is about it, but just, it makes it fun. And the reason I think it makes it fun is because it makes it more of a challenge. I don't know every single trick and how it's going to interact with the Balisong. Like, it's not always the same. And that's because it has more room for inconsistency when I'm doing certain tricks. And you'll get used to your inconsistencies once you get better at flipping. I've gotten really good at flipping just because of, I've done it for so long. I've been flipping for 3 years, 4 maybe even, if you really count 2020, when I really wasn't. But, it all just adds up. Eventually, you just get used to how the Balisong flips. No matter if you're like me though, and you try so many Balisongs, then you get used to different flipping styles and the way different Balisongs flip and everything. And I've also made Balisongs, so I can tell you that from experience, making Balisongs is a lot different than flipping them and just being like, oh, I know how it flips and how the weight distribution is. You might not actually. There's so many different things, like actually putting weight near the ends of the handles. Like on this one, you see it's up to here, and then you see on this side, it's down here. See, that changes how it flips on that axis, like when you're flipping on the axis that you're flipping, if that makes any sense to you. It's kind of a physics thing. Yes. So Balisongs is a physics thing. I feel like everyone should know that. You might not have thought about it like that, but it is a physics thing. And the reason it's a physics thing is because you're moving your Balisong through the air. And so if you're out in nature or whatever and it's windy, you'll find it a little bit harder to flip your Balisong because it's a little more inconsistent. Just like if it's cold outside, it may make your fingers cold. And as I drop it, you'll actually see that it's harder to flip in inconsistent environments and things that you're just not used to. If you flip in the cold a lot, you'll get better at flipping in the cold. If you flip in your room all the time and you have no experience with the cold, which I do most of the time, then you won't be as good at flipping in the cold. And that's just because you haven't been doing it that much. So you have to try different things if you want to get better at them, and you have to do them consistency. It's like practice. With everything takes practice, guys. And so that's just something I've learned. If you want to get better at Balisong flipping, it's not just flipping a lot. You can do the same tricks over and over again, like I have for a long time, and you will not get better. You have to actually branch out, try things that you're not so good at. So maybe do an aerial then, or maybe do a parabolic eventually, or try and learn the parabolic to get more used to how to control that axis thing that I'm talking about. And as you can see, I'm still dropping it, and that's because it's a trainer, and I'm more doing things that I am not used to all the time. Like all of this basic flipping, like this stuff's easy for me. Like all of this. Like that's easy. Why did I miss that? There. Like that stuff is super easy for me, and that's just because I've been doing it for so long. And also parabolics, so yeah. You gotta figure it out and figure out what works for you. I'm gonna zoom out here so you can see. I honestly love that, I don't know, Balisongs are super, super nice for the fact that you can keep flipping and learn tons of new stuff every single time if you actually put in the time and effort to learn certain things. It does take time and effort, that's for sure, but I find it very rewarding because in this hobby, you can keep getting better at it and better at it. Or just keep improving the way you flip and the way you actually see yourself flip. Because if you watch yourself in a mirror flipping, take your camera out and watch yourself in a mirror flipping. And then don't focus on your hand in first person. Don't do this. Take it from this angle and then go like this. And then see yourself and see how you think it feels, Because this is completely different than when you're doing it just like this. Just like this. You see? See what I mean here? Oh my gosh, that was just bad. Being bad. But yeah, honestly, that's just the thing. So back to the tolerances and the main like aspect of this video. It's just that tolerances that aren't like super tight and you have wiggle room in them, like a lot, like a decent amount, not like a ton. Like you can have even more than this, and then it's just crazier and you have even more inconsistency, and that's something maybe you'd like. I don't know. If you really like a challenge, you might like that. I like aluminum Balisongs because they're actually like tighter tolerances, but they're slippery. Like they're slippery. So like you actually have to know what you're doing more than I would say on titanium, because on titanium it grips you more. Like you feel it. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to explain. Like you have more grip on this versus like aluminum. If you're getting nothing like a bead blast, if you get a bead blast, you'll have more grip like titanium. But if you get just normal plain finish, which is just anodized and polished, then it's going to be super slippery. And I kind of think that's great to learn on if you're trying to get used to flipping on different surfaces and just like get used to just flipping something that isn't going to cater to you all the time. Like titanium will cater to you in almost every environment, in my opinion, whereas aluminum will not. If your environment is humid and like if you have wet hands, it'll make it way harder to flip your Balisong. So I guess if you really want to try and improve in wet climate, or I don't know, underwater flipping, that's not really a thing, but you get the point. If you're getting your Balisong wet and flipping it to try and improve the aspect of my hands are wet and I'm flipping it, just like flipping in the rain, I would say, then yeah, go for it, man. You'll get better at that. It just takes time. It just takes practice, just like everything. And as you can still see, I will still mess up. So like, expect to be cut if you're flipping with a live. So that's just kind of the truth of it. Unless you're doing all the tricks that you know 100% and only those, which is what I usually tend to do if I don't want to get cut. So yeah, but if you're trying something new, don't be afraid to do something crazy on a trainer. On a live blade, always play it to the safe side is what I would say. But you do you. It is your Balisong, so I'm not going to tell you what to do when flipping your Balisong, bro. But yeah, thank you all for watching. It's a little bit of a shortish, medium-ish video. But yeah, tell me what you guys think about it down below. And also, if you guys like this wider camera angle, I kind of like it. But that's just me. So thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.